Welcome back. Episode 7, Last of Us. Big episode. Chris, take it away.
Yeah, big episode, my ass. All right, episode 7. So little recap. We get a little. We get Ellie pulling Joel via a horse and a sleeping bag to a house to try saving his life. And then we get Joel telling Ellie in a very pretty much blunt way by pulling her in and shoving her off to get out and go find Tommy. And then we get a flashback. We are in flashback episode with 2 episodes after this one. So, beginning of the flashback, Ellie...
2 episodes left. Okay.
Yeah.
I was confused.
I said after this one. So, Ellie gets into a fight with, I'm guessing, kind of what they would consider an upperclassman, because she looked a lot bigger than Ellie. And Ellie puts girl in the hospital to get stitches, and Ellie ends up talking to Captain, I'm going to call him Wong. It's KN or KWONG, and Wong. And I could have swore he said something different in the episode, but I literally watched this once because I barely got through it. If we were not doing this because of the show, I'd have quit 15 minutes in. But he sits down, he gives a very inspirational speech to Ellie, basically saying you can go this path and be enlisted and be someone that's shoveling shit. Done it. Or be an officer and be the person telling said person to shovel shit. And I mean, I thought that little scene was a great interaction. And then we get Ellie's friend, ex-classmate and bodyguard, according to the one girl, breaking into her room in a military training facility. And then
Fedra, I mean, I wouldn't say it's the military, maybe paramilitary.
It's a military training facility. Don't worry, we're gonna talk about that. And then they sneak out and somehow evade guards who pointed a light down the alleyway.
Yeah, they went to Sears School.
Right. And then these two go jumping into a window, up a little staircase into a hallway with a dead dude, which I'm sorry. I don't know why, but that scene kind of cracked me up. That is definitely something kids would do. Oh, a dead body? Let me just kind of go poke at it and see what's around here and take his liquor. And they get to the rooftop, and they're jumping across the roof again with somehow no one noticing, but it's another topic.
Cool, man. It's a
and
crazy skill to have.
Then at the end of them jumping on the roofs, they end up at the mall, which apparently still has working lights and is not flooded in any kind of capacity. And they go through the mall. They end up doing like a tour of the mall. They look at some lingerie. They ride the hell are those things called? Whatever. They ride this
merry-go-round.
Yeah, merry-go-round. Which breaks down. Go figure. 20-year-old merry-go-round, no maintenance. Joe. And then they end up in a photo booth, which kind of works, kind of doesn't, because the film's 20 years old and shouldn't work. Trust me, I'm old. I know how that old fucking film works. And then they go to the arcade, which I thought was a cool scene, but still kind of weird that every single thing in there worked. And there was money left over. No.
Actually,
why would
if you
there be
think
money
about
left
it,
over?
there would be money left over everywhere because the military started bombing within 24 hours.
They
So
did
people
not
don't
start
have time to
bombing,
go-
but we can fight about this later. All
I
right.
think people had time to go rip open the freaking coin machine.
Why would you leave metal in the...
Oh, you got
Why would you use...
facing you biting people.
You're gonna leave
first thing you're gonna
usable
do is,
nickel.
I want to get quarters to play Mortal Kombat 2. My life. I'm just gonna go play.
We know
Mortal
why
Kombat 2.
they left the money there so they could have this scene. There's no reason for the quarters to be there.
If this shit ever happens, if I ever see you at an ATM, I'm bringing all the infected to you. Every single one.
This guy right there, bite him. I did like the callback with the Mortal Kombat 2. I thought that was pretty good callback to episode 2, right?
Yeah, was it that gas station, right?
Yeah. Yeah, before she fell down the little hole. Yeah. And then she takes her to her little hiding hole where she's been building bombs. They get in a fight. Ellie comes back, and then she hears screaming and thinks she's in trouble. Little foreshadowing, even though you saw the infected wake up. And I gotta admit, this probably bothered me the most too. Like, I'm sorry, two mid to older teenage girls dancing on 20-year-old glass in like a fucking vanity store. That shit would break instantly. Like, if they were in K Jewelers where the glass like this thick, okay, not a vanity store where it's like gonna be.
We are past
thin
the world of realism.
No, I'm putting myself in this world. That shit would be breaking down.
I mean,
past realism.
I'd say if you go to a junkyard, right, and you got some of those real old cars, and you stood on the windshield probably wouldn't cave in right away.
Hold up. Best example for you. My buddy's dad had like a 1960 something. I don't even know what kind of car it was. It was brown. It was a piece of junk. It didn't run. It was in this guy's driveway for as long as we were kids. Whenever we were in our early 20s, we decided to do some backyard wrestling. My buddy powerbombed me into the glass at least 40 times. I did not go through it.
There's no way.
I did not go through it.
There's no way.
Bro,
40 times?
I can bring him onto this one day.
You bring him on.
Tell me the story.
I want all 40 descriptions. 40 times.
I was destroyed. The glass did not break. I just kept bouncing off of this thing.
They built things better in the 60s.
Well, I agree with that. They did build things better back then because I got a 2014 Honda Accord. I don't know how.
But according to his old stuff should be broken. I should have went right through that glass.
Right.
This was 2003. And that shit probably had.
My glass is cracking, my windshield, and I don't even know how. Like, nothing hit it. I think it's just a temperature.
You don't know how old this mall is?
It's in Boston. It's been there for at least 20 years. At least. Sitting there. No maintenance. No maintenance.
That's where you're
Zero
wrong,
maintenance.
I already found the reference that Riley makes. Because Riley says Fedra hooked up new apartments and electricity, and it connected the mall too. So obviously, Fedra had an interest in keeping this mall a secret and working.
Yeah, but when they hooked up the power, the mall got the power.
Yes, because they hooked it up to the grid.
Yeah,
to keep it running.
When new people came in.
91 deltas.
It just got power. None of those lights should work. We'll get to that too.
I'm gonna Google how long it takes glass to break without any maintenance.
You do that. Add dancing 120-pound girls. Add that into your Google search. All right. So after they're done dancing, they kiss, and which whatever. I mean, two people fall in love. That's fine. And obviously, they spent a lot of time together because didn't Marlene say she put her in that school when she was like 8 or 9 or 10 or something like that?
Spontaneous glass breakage is an extremely rare occurrence. However, it is a possibility.
It's not spontaneous. It's zero maintenance, people dancing on it. That's my point.
Neon lights have 3 times the expectancy of normal lights.
Yeah, when they're probably always being used.
20 years.
On average, the average is 15 years. But if they're not used daily, it says they can last a very long time. Which, if it wasn't hooked up for about, I don't know, 10, 15 years.
Does it say anything about it being turned on? Does it say anything about it being turned on every so often to excite the neon? Or Because I'm pretty sure you have to use those things for.
Says leaving. No, it just says leaving a sign switched on for prolonged periods can shorten its lifespan.
Yeah,
and
but
leave it
that's
at
that's
risk
with
of
any light.
overheating or sustaining damage from electrical surges. But it says they usually last about 15 years, although many function much longer than that. That's why these stores use LED, because it's cheaper and they last longer. They don't have to change the bulbs out, and it doesn't cost as much electricity.
They still need maintenance. You're wrong. You're wrong, sir. All right, hold on. we got plenty.
Clearly, Neon Plus over here is wrong. The guys that specialize in neon signs.
I don't believe them. Don't believe it. Things need maintenance. Your maintenance, you should know. All right, so they finally kiss each other after the entire episode avoiding it, even though you see it in every other scene. And they get their very short, what are we going to do kind of moment, because they get attacked by the infected that we see about 30 minutes earlier. And they both get bit, which I should have recorded myself. I literally said as soon as they kiss, I go, they're going to get attacked. They're both going to get bit. And I kind of wish they would have played this different. Because they could still have them have their moment and fall in love. And it would just be too easy for Riley to not get bit and sit there with Ellie, kind of like she did very selfishly at the end, saying, we're just going to live through this and die together. But she could have just said, hey, I'm going to stay with you until the end. And then Ellie doesn't change, and she's like, oh, maybe I should take her to Marlene.
And that would have been the end of that.
And then it would kind of explain how she ends up with the Fireflies, and you don't see Riley because Riley went to her mission. And it's just like, I kind of wish they would have done it different, where Riley didn't get bit, because it was so predictable that they were both going to get bit. And obviously we know plot armor Ellie lives.
Except for, you don't know it now, but in the last episode, you'll see.
I swear to God, fucking Riley's immune too.
No.
Yo.
You'll learn a lot. You'll learn a lot, because there's recall back to this episode.
The
Right.
last episode has a lot of story in it, and it should have been split into 2 episodes, but HBO.
Can we talk about 7? I got notes.
let's talk about episode
I got
7.
notes that we got to argue about. All right, and then
It says neon glass tubes are illuminated by transformers. So a new transformer. Ta-da! Neon lights glow.
I know how they work. I just think that I find it unrealistic that a building, hypothetically, this building wasn't touched for 10 years. Because she said once they hooked up the power, the lights came on basically to the mall. So we'll even say your little theory where the Fedra closed it down because they were infected in it and used it for a couple years, and then they just forgot about it. Or they couldn't use it because of the power. But even if they were using it this entire time, you said they only last 15 years. So they should have been burnt out 5 years ago.
No,
What?
It says,
What?
says they can, but if they're not on daily, they can last much longer.
Much longer than
So what you're saying
15,
is
it's like
Fedra only
25.
use this every once in a while?
Yeah.
I highly doubt they're blowing this place up to attract infected. They're not dumb.
There's only the one in it.
They had to push infected out of it. They pushed infected out of it to open it up. So they've been working on this for a while.
They were trying to bring them all to the community.
I'm gonna leave that.
Honestly.
I'm gonna leave that in. I don't know. You could pull up numbers and stats. I still think without maintenance, it's kind of unrealistic. Like the buildings in episode 5 where glass is just there.
They
Toronto
have
Ultra.
maintenance people. What do you think Joel was doing in the first episode? They assign people jobs.
Yeah, to
Slave
sewers.
labor.
To sewers.
That's not all. That was the only job that was open. He asked, "What do you have for me?" And that was the only thing that was open because each job pays
Yeah,
differently. Obviously,
but
somebody
if,
that can work on electricity is probably going to get more food credits than somebody shoveling shit.
yeah, but they're not doing maintenance on this
Important stuff
every
to
part of
job.
this building. Like, why would they give crap about
They're not.
the
They're
glass?
not rebuilding it.
What is Minier doing?
Well,
What kind of
obviously,
maintenance
they
needs
look.
to be done on glass though? Like besides if
Replacing
it's
it?
cracked.
Like
Yeah,
replacing it?
maybe if they would have seen it was cracked or something, but maybe it's in good shape.
Oh, come on, you guys are reaching. It is unrealistic.
Why does everything have to be destroyed and broken and just to shit?
Well, because
They've been going through this for 20 years, so they've had 20 years to like build and create and fix. So there's like a long period of time where you don't see any of that. So it's
Yeah.
very possible people probably have been building and working on stuff.
but not the mall that they blocked off. I am not assuming that they're using this mall. I am assuming word for word she said they blocked this off, they closed it down so people can't get into it.
Well,
Which
I mean, in the episode,
obviously they can.
You have to read in the way that she does it. She says, they blocked it off, or did they? She knew about the secret entrance. So obviously they wanted people to think it was closed so that way they could use it.
But if you do,
I'll buy your hypothesis, but the episode still sucked.
during the episode when they're in the mall, there's no indication that anyone besides her has been in the mall and that infected.
I mean, they're there at 2:00 in the morning, so who's supposed to be there?
No, like there's like no trash laying around or like just
the whole place looks like trash.
Because it hasn't been
No
used in
recent-
20 years.
no recent trash. Like I mean, it looks like it's just abandoned.
Recent trash looks like. If
Bro,
I
like
threw,
a
if I
pack
threw
of freaking ramen or something.
if I threw a whole bunch of Hershey wrappers on the ground, you would be able to tell me which ones are more recent than the others?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, if you're
No,
talking years and months,
We could do
yeah.
We could do lick the chocolate.
No. It's going to fade.
Well, not only that, but like there's no sign of like human activity in the mall besides where what's her name again?
Riley.
Riley.
Raven.
Besides where Riley's staying.
Obviously, somebody else has used it that she knows about it.
The Fireflies. The Fireflies put her there. They're like, yeah, you're gonna stay at the mall. Isn't that what she said? That they posted her there, and they're moving her to where was it? Baltimore.
she
think
said the
she's
East, the Atlantic coast, or something like that. So, I mean, it could be Baltimore, but that's just what
Either
she
way,
said. Yeah.
She wasn't. She definitely was not the only one that knew about this mall.
Yeah, I mean the rest of the Fireflies knew about it as well.
Okay, well that's more people.
I still think it'd be run down than what it's showing. I don't think you would get that much light and a working escalator. Because I know those things have to get maintenance like at least every 6 months. But
if it was cut off for extended periods of time, its life would expand.
it needs oil.
Its life would expand.
It needs oil. It runs on gears. You're a mechanic. You should know.
I'm just saying. You're reaching too much into a show that you're just supposed to shut your brain off and enjoy it.
I'll give you the neon lights. I'll give you that. I'll give you some of the lights, but I just think it should be more run down than what they showed in that episode. Every single arcade working, every single one in that scene lit up. After 20 years, not one of them's gonna be broke from like flooding or humidity or any of that.
Maybe they were. Did you go in and inspect every single one yourself?
Everyone that she walked by was lit up. Everyone. I just watched the episode like 4 hours ago. I know I'm getting old and my memory sucks, but every single one was lit up.
Visual effects.
I made a note.
It is done so that way you could be like, oh wow, look at that. Isn't that cool? Man, this is so neat. And
It is
here
neat.
You are, doom and gloom. It's all destroyed. It should look like shit. Can't you give Ellie a moment of happiness?
She got her moment. And then they got bit. All they needed was a Mortal Kombat one to work. That's it. That's the only one you needed for the callback.
See,
We've been
that
having a long discussion on maintenance of the freaking mall and lights, and we still haven't started
would've
watching the clips.
but it would have looked so dumb if everything would have been off except for Mortal Kombat 2, and it was like, wow, that's so obvious.
I said that's the only one they need to work. They could have had a couple more working, but unrealistic.
Testing your memory.
Even the merry-go-round broke down after like 2 minutes. And
I don't think it broke down. I think the time ran out.
oh, either way, it stopped working. And
Well, it's supposed to stop working.
Every single light in the merry-go-round
They
worked.
were on it for a minute.
And
They were on it.
the film worked enough that you could see all 4 pictures. Barely, but that stuff breaks down.
Well, then don't play the game because you'll be super butthurt because the pictures come out even better in the game.
I'm gonna play it. But that's a video game. This is real life action movies and TV shows.
That's based on
Real life, bro.
Alright, let's watch these clips. Still unrealistic. What? What?
Yo.
Shut up, Joe.
Take the gun.
Joe, shut the fuck up!
That's how Joe gets mad.
You go to Tommy. You go.
Bro, that's child abuse, by the way.
Pretty sure that law doesn't exist in this world.
Bro, he flung her back and he was dying. How much power do you gotta have to fling her back like that?
That's how you know
why
you're
he's-
tough. Yeah.
Wait, what you say, Joe?
That's why he's a fixer.
Yeah. Bro. That scene's crazy though. I mean, when you if you could add the last scene from the last episode right onto this, man, that's a deep scene.
Oh, you talking about where she's like, "Don't do this. I can't do this on my own. Don't leave me. Stay awake." Yeah.
And then you add this, well, then him being dragged into the cabin and whatever, and then this scene where Joe's like, "Yo," or Joel, he's like, "Yo, I'm dying, bro. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
There's no point in you even doing
That's
anything."
the shock and awe of the opening of the episode. You think it's all about to be lovey-dovey, and then he goes, "Bitch, go to Tom."
Yeah.
Get off me.
But I mean, I will say though, if I was in his situation, I would be like, yeah, go to Tommy, because one, I trust Tommy to be able to take care of you and do what needs to be done, and two, why the hell would you bother wasting time trying to fix me when I'm like dying, bro? It's like at this point, just let me die,
Yeah. Dude, he lost a lot of blood.
bro. A lot.
A lot.
And not only that, like they don't have, like she's not a doctor, she's not a nurse, she doesn't know what to do to fix him up. She has no qualifications to even try to take care of him.
Well,
Well, that
Don't-
comes into play in the next couple episodes.
don't
but
worry.
yeah.
I'm sure Captain
Kwang,
Wong explains it very clearly in this next clip.
yeah, he's gonna come there, do this, portal in, because it's Wong, right?
Fucking Wong. Wongers.
You're smart, Ellie. You're so smart. You're stupid. Can't see where this is going? Let me help you out.
She's so smart, she's stupid.
That's a thing.
Why is it doing this?
First path. You keep acting like a grunt so you get the life of a grunt. Up at dawn, walk the streets, walk the wall. You eat shit food. You do shit jobs. You take shit orders from your patrol leader.
Sound familiar?
Yeah, it sounds like my freaking platoon sergeant in Kuwait.
Wait.
I got a finger for each of you.
Great minds think alike.
Yo, for real.
Do fucking push-ups, you two. I mean,
Yeah. Listen to shit.
he did the you're so smart and you're better than everyone trope.
Oh.
I mean, I don't mind her being smart because you got Joel. As much as I love him, he's a box of rocks, except for when it comes to killing
Nah,
And-
see,
Joel's tactical.
that's
and smuggling.
where,
Joel's tactical.
see, that's where they did him a disservice from the game, because in the game, bro,
He's smart as fuck.
he could build anything.
Nail bombs, smoke bombs.
A lot of weapons, I guess, but yeah.
So it takes some ingenuity to make a nail bomb.
For real.
Tried once in high school.
And they should have had a nail bomb in the episode. He should have used
should've.
one.
Your life from now until you catch a bullet from a firefly or fall drunk off a roof or get your hair caught in a moving tank tread.
That'd be crazy.
You swallow this pride of yours.
It goes to the realism part where people do get run over by tanks, so she could get killed by getting ran over by a tank.
Yeah, like in Saving Private Ryan, where that guy was trying to put the sticky bomb on, and then he exploded because he couldn't get it to stick.
I'm not gonna lie, I laughed probably too hard at that.
Yeah, that guy. After one try, just get away.
Mm-hmm.
Just get away.
Just throw
It
it.
has a fuse.
Just throw it. Oh, stupid people and sticky bombs.
Look at how beautiful this mall is. Man, it's so nice and lit up.
There's no fucking way.
All right, if you're looking at this, right?
Some of them
Look
are
at the
burnt.
signs.
Some of the stores are
Yeah.
out. Yeah, see, you can only see some of New York company. Like company's burnt out. If you look at
There's
whatever the fuck that store is on the right, there's letters missing.
what,
The store all the way
1A?
down with the blue.
Hey, but you can see is that the Coca-Cola sign on the left, back left?
I don't know.
Kind of looks like Coca-Cola to me. Maybe
Look,
Chick-fil-A.
You can see some of the stores down at the bottom aren't lit up.
That's just because they haven't came on
Gap
yet.
is lit up.
You know what that is? That's people that paid to have their store's name in the episode. That's why their
You're
stores
probably
lit up.
right, yeah. That's why it's like this.
They're not stupid. That's why you can read New York Company and Gap. I have no something gaming.
That looks like a fake store.
Like a GameStop.
Etor? Etar? I don't know. I even lived in Boston for a while.
Yeah,
I've
but
never fucking heard of that.
If you look past the circular lit up sign on the right hand side, all those stores are out.
They haven't turned on yet. Look at one
look.
fucking light's out.
You can see the light flickering.
One light. One.
So, what do you think? It's fucking. Wait, the lights. We're fine.
Even she questioned it. They said it was built in a bunker-like state.
She questioned the lights because of the infected.
No, she was
Or other people.
she was worried about people seeing it and coming to it. But she says something about it being closed off, like covered, like it's bunkered in.
Oh, so if it's bunkered in, it would be protected from the elements.
Before,
Interesting.
like afterwards, but they're not gonna bunker that in right away.
So it got bunkered in by other things, so it's protected from elements like snow and rain that would eventually destroy glass.
There are shit growing in it, and those are water stains right there. All right.
Well, yeah, I mean, it had some.
Okay, so there
mold.
you go. So there you go. That adds to your theory. So water does get through,
Yeah, which would degrade the fucking building. All right, we're
and that's why there's mold.
we're already 28 minutes in.
Fine.
Look at that.
What?
Your least relevant episode.
You're drunk. No. Yeah, not yet. You mean?
That alcohol is actually a callback to whenever she drinks out of Joel's flask.
Yeah, I
Where she
mainly
said it still tastes horrible.
I mainly connected those kind of scenes because of the tension that was being built up between these two.
When did she drink out of Joel's flask?
The very beginning of the last episode. When she's like, hey, give me some so I can warm up at least.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, I remember.
yeah. And she said it still tastes like shit, even though I think what he had would be more like moonshine. And what they were drinking would be more like real distilled whiskey.
Dude. Yeah. Oh. You ready?
That
She had a
arcade's
whole
like in
bucket and everything.
perfect fucking shape.
No, they're not. You go back. Those games are out. Those screens are out. They're not working. Those screens aren't working.
Oh my god, I'm about to show you something, young kid. You see down right here?
Not there.
That's the
see that.
screen.
Go back. Go back. I played arcade games.
Yeah, the screen's down here.
No. Go
No, the
back.
screen's up there, bro.
I think you're skipping segments.
Yeah, you gotta hit play.
There were definitely 2 screens that were out.
You ready? Yeah.
It's right here.
Oh yeah, that is the screen.
Nah, that I don't know. I saw something else. There were definitely 2 screens out.
That's what you're looking at.
Drunk? No.
It's the
Yeah,
video
not
quality, because the one to the right, that looked like an arcade machine at first.
yet. Dude. Yeah.
When we're done with the episode, I'll pull it up. I'll pull the scene up.
Yeah, see, right behind Riley looked like an arcade game because of the quality that I have right now.
Yeah, it's down here. The screen's down here.
Proceed with the episode.
I love Mortal Kombat.
You guys been to an arcade in recent years?
Yeah, I just went to Pins not too long ago.
I haven't been to that. That's
Down south
Where-
side. There's one in
Okay.
Ohio too.
is that the new one that they made like in Southside?
Yeah. It's
Okay,
fun.
I haven't been there, but there's one in Canada, huge one called Palladium. And when we were kids, we used to go there all the time. And it's not coins no more. You gotta buy a play card, and you gotta swipe the card.
Pins is free. All arcade games are free. You could just keep playing.
Oh, no shit.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Alright.
arcades are real different.
Yeah, it's not like it was where you get the tokens and you put the tokens in, or you just put quarters in. Yeah,
Yeah, you don't get tickets either
yeah.
out of most of them no more. It just goes onto the card.
Getting old sucks. Things change. Fucking arcades in
And they're
perfect
putting
shape.
like actual new games. Like they got arcade versions of like iPhone games and stuff.
Nah, just give me Area 51. I'm good to go.
I don't even know what that is.
Wow.
That was kind of a weird kiss. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I mean,
She
It's
know
supposed to be
Riley
like-
wanted to kiss.
Huh?
14 or she's supposed to be even younger than she is when Joe meets her. So she's probably like 12 or 13 in this scene,
This can't be much before she
which
got
is what
bit.
disturbed me.
She's exploring her sexuality.
True.
I was kissing when I was
So
like
she
12.
probably is like 13 or 14.
Yeah, I was kissing like 12, 13
Mhm.
years old.
Man, but it's little kids. It's a show, bro.
Bruh.
And bro, it just don't sit right with me.
We've been over
I
this.
I was kissing girls at 12, 13 years old.
Yeah.
Bro,
I was making out with girls at 12, 13 years old.
I'm just not trying to get canceled here, so I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
I was feeling titties at like 13,
yeah.
14.
For context, I was 12 and they were 12, not now.
just to state that out there. Fucking weirdos.
No, 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 no!
No.
Not gonna lie, the scene was pretty heavy.
And
Ellie's first real loss in life.
I was like, you saw it coming. You predicted it from like the beginning of the episode. Like, yeah, they're
Well, if
probably
you
gonna
played
get.
the game, if you played the game, you knew too. But you know,
I
Well, I
didn't,
never played the DLC that this was in.
I didn't
but-
play it and I saw this coming.
Yeah, it was like you were prepared for the whole episode to know what was gonna happen.
well, yeah, because if nothing would have happened to Riley, obviously Ellie would probably still be with Riley.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Put a twist on the.
After this happened, you really think Ellie was gonna go back to Fedra?
Probably
No,
not.
she was gonna follow.
Yeah.
Riley.
young and in love. She would have went with her heart. Yep.
Well, Riley tells her before they got bit that she was supposed to be leaving for wherever.
She would have followed her.
Yeah.
Well, Ellie was mad at
I didn't like
about
the
it
end
at
scene.
first. But yeah, no, I mean, it was an alright episode. It wasn't great.
7.5. A good episode gives you Ellie's backstory. You get to learn a little bit about her, but I'm still giving it a 7.5.
I did not.
Even though I enjoyed the episode.
Did not like this episode, but to each his own, right?
It creates the depth of the character.
Yeah.
I mean,
I get
for those reasons, I think I'd give it like a 7. This was probably my least favorite episode. If I let me think, because I liked episode 1. Episode 2 was good.
Episode 3 is my least favorite.
Now, see, I liked episode 3. Episode 3 had good story. I mean, even though it wasn't necessarily relevant to
It wasn't relevant. This
the
is
rest
relevant.
of the season. I mean,
Not
episode 3 was
relevant,
just
relevant.
done really well, though.
I'm
not saying this was a shit episode. It was probably not the best out of the season.
Everything that happened in 3 happened way too fast. Way too fast. The cuts
I don't disagree.
The cuts were too quick. They fell in love way too fast.
Well, too fast for our timeline, but in that timeline, it was like 13 years.
Dude, he took a shower and fed him dinner, and they had sex. Really? Really?
It's called hookup culture, man.
We can do an end of season review.
Oh, what?
Why using big words?
I said hookup culture.
Oh yeah. That's your generation.
No, I mean episode 3 for story was alright. I mean, I get it. The relevance wasn't really there. Episode 4, what happened to episode 4 again? Oh, episode 4 they got jumped by those idiots. Episode 4 and 5 was Henry and Sam, and I forgot her name. What was her name again?
What are you talking about, boss lady? I don't know. I don't care. Is that who you're talking about?
She's not a real character. So
Psycho?
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. Where they introduce these characters so quick, and like I'm already forgetting their names. It's like, bro, come on.
She's not relevant. She didn't really exist in the game, but it added depth to Henry and Sam's story.
She was in the game. She wasn't.
She was not in the game. She is not a character in the game. They created her and put it in to give depth to the story of Henry and Sam.
So what were Henry and Sam doing in the game?
Just hiding.
From who?
The infected.
Oh.
Henry wasn't a narc for Fedra.
I would probably like that storyline better. I liked the way 5 ended. Like that last 10 minutes, that shit was bananas. It was just awesome. Then that big guy that ripped dude's head off.
They created reasons for the characters though. Where in the game you just meet these people and then you're just like, all right, bye, see you later.
Yeah.
But they created stories for these characters.
Well, speaking of episode 5 at the end, I love the infected scene and everything.
Bloater goes hard.
What I don't like, bro, is the big ass fucking infected, bro.
The bloater goes hard.
Bro, that shit went hard, and then it has nothing to do with the rest of the season, bro. Why are you introducing it then if you're not gonna use it again?
It came out that whole yo, I'm about to fuck shit up.
Bro, it tore that guy's head off his body.
Like it wasn't even there. Like it wasn't even there.
Killed her too.
And then the other question is, how the hell did it get so big? I mean, I get in the game that the bloaters exist and everything, but how the hell does
Stage 3 of the infection, the cordyceps take over the whole entire body. Like if you look at the stage 1, it's just a little bit. Stage 2, it takes over their eyes and shit. That's why they're clickers. And then stage 3, after them being infected for so long, it takes over their whole body, and that's a bloater.
Yeah, but how do they get so big? Like, my hand can only be as big as my hand is.
In the game, they blew up, but I'm much more okay with this armored tank ass version.
Bro, this thing was like indestructible.
Yeah,
Within the game, how do you kill them?
Hey,
Just
hey,
shoot it and blows up.
give it a rating.
7.5.
I got
It's lower
chillers.
episode.
This guy's trying to figure out what it
Oh,
is.
this episode? Yeah, no, I'd give it like a low 7.
I'll give you a 7.
But yeah, I mean, episode 6 we just talked about last episode.
Did
That
not
was a
like this
dope
episode.
And then this episode, like, this episode felt like it should have been part of Stranger Things season 1. Like, just kids doing kid stuff. You know what I mean? Even though Stranger Things season 1 was pretty dope.
Kinda.
but, like,
I don't know. I kind of like the way it faded into this because Ellie was getting ready to leave, and then she just like freezes at the door, and then she just like recalling that Riley left, and she thought she was dead, and that's like what triggered all of it.
I don't mind the backstory and the building of her character. I don't like how they did it. I guess it's just hard for me to explain. I get it. It's part of the DLC. I just like it really bothered me that she just can sneak in and out of a pseudo military organization's building. Like
she used to be there. She knows the ins and
Yeah.
outs.
okay, but
It's
no.
like looking at your parents' house. You know what time they go to bed. You know what windows aren't gonna make noise. You know.
But
how to
this
get
isn't
in
your
and out of
parents' house. This is a pseudo military organization. They're gonna have
That's
people
run-
watching.
But it's also
she's
run by
training
people
with-
that really don't give a
yeah.
shit. I mean, you learned that in episode 1. That one dude was letting Joel do whatever the fuck he wanted for some pills.
Yeah, that's because Joel was giving him something though. He was offering something to take away pain, not watching the building where people were training.
A lot of those people are gonna have that mindset though. They don't want to fucking be there.
Yeah,
They don't wanna be doing this shit.
not only that, but she was training with them, so she understands.
Fedra
all
wasn't
the-
a thing until the infected happened. So some of these people were just like kind of forced into it. They don't want to do this shit for real. You're gonna have people that take it serious, but then you have people that don't give a fuck.
Yeah, you're probably right, but
Just like the real military.
there would be enough people outside that building. That your training building isn't going to be one of your most important buildings and
You're
watched.
telling me,
What do you think this is? Final Fantasy VII?
the barracks had MPs outside them 24/7? Nah, bro.
No, because the fucking drill sergeants were watching us.
Bro, a fucking kid stole a school bus and escaped, or he escaped and then stole a school bus. He left the whole fucking base and stole the school, and he had his weapon with him.
How often does that shit happen? That's like the most crazy story. She had to at least scale up the building.
We had guys going down the steps across the fucking formation area up into the girls' room without the drill sergeants knowing.
Bro, I mean, yeah, bro, people would leave the barracks all the time. It would take MPs to go find them and shit, but leaving your company area
maybe you
that
guys
hard.
grew up different than us. Old heads, I was fucking terrified to leave my barracks because of the drill sergeants. But like, I'm just telling you how I look at it. There's no fucking way she would just be able to sneak in, sneak out.
Dude get knocked out cold in the barracks, knocked out cold. We had to, not me, but other people were running downstairs grabbing all this ice and shit out of the friggin' container. The drill sergeant literally stopped and was like, "What are you doing, privates?" And they're like, they came up with some bullshit reason and just took all this fucking ice and shit upstairs. Didn't get stopped. Nothing. No questions asked.
Especially at night when it's the one drill sergeant
No, it
on
happened during the
CQ,
day.
bro.
It happened during the day.
I still don't believe in a fascist type organization that they would not be watching these. I just don't. I don't. These people are crazy and want to keep power. It's a pseudo-fascist organization.
Mode. They're not. They're in survival mode. They have to have some type of order, and they can't, like, democracy won't work because.
So they gotta have some type of order. You're talking about a training facility with kids that are going to take over for you. You're just gonna let them walk in and out in the building and do whatever they want.
That's
no.
People don't even want to be there.
Bro, they snuck out.
Be there.
Yeah, she snuck
and that
in
analogy of leaving
and
out
then
your
back
parents'
out.
House.
Not like It's not like a military complex. They're in a fucking apartment. Like they're chilling in a building.
Yeah, she had to go.
They escaped out the goddamn what the fuck's it called? The catwalk stairs and shit. Like it's not that crazy.
No one's gonna notice. Not a fucking person's gonna notice. Not
Doing
one.
room checks,
Not when you're slick.
and they were running on.
They're doing at least
rooftops and
patrols.
Shit.
You saw the
They're
one
on
Humvee drive by. They're doing at least patrols. I mean, I didn't like it. There were too many
It's
things
not like,
that just.
It's not like they have a big ass military. It's like a small ass town of people.
Yeah, I out of everything, I think that's like a pretty realistic portion of the episode where they actually escape. It's like, yeah.
They probably got like 30 or 40 people that work in that building.
You think that's all they have?
Maybe even less than that. I mean,
Yeah.
Really?
it's like escaping high school, bro. You never left high school? I used to take an Uber all the time and
Never
just
did,
leave.
yeah, ditching school, same way. They got security guards, principal, vice principal all walking around. Yeah, you ain't able to get out.
You're not gonna change my mind. It's still a 1.
Oh.
There are too many. Like, I don't care. It's shit. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Riley's a bad fucking character.
Fucking Joe Rogan podcast out here.
Dude, no, I did not fucking like this episode. If I'm looking at this from someone that's in a fucking bullshit military organization, which I'm sorry the reserves are, at least we still do stupid shit like have fucking huh?
I used to leave drill all the time.
Bro.
I'm going to Humvees. Okay. No, I'm going to Sheets.
Yeah, look who our fucking commander was.
For 10 years with 3 different commanders.
Well, look how fucking shit that company was.
Hey, 4 different commanders and 4 different first sergeants.
That
Look,
company was
Fedra
shit.
is a 444.
That's fine. You can say that. It's still a shit episode. It's still fucking terrible. I didn't like the fact that they fucking ran across the top of the ceilings. Like, no one would fucking notice it. Again, you're not gonna have a lookout up there for incoming, and someone just goes, "Oh, look at these idiots running across the building."
Bro,
Like,
what's incoming?
Nothing's flying.
Bro,
so you're not watching for people
infected.
coming up. You're not watching for raiders come up to the fucking to come up to the
Bro,
perimeter.
they got a gate and they got a perimeter.
They don't even got MVGs.
Says who?
Did
The
you?
first episode.
You just said.
Here?
You said about 50 minutes ago, before we started recording this, that people were sneaking in and out of a building. You mean to tell me, hypothetically, they couldn't have NVGs?
Did you see anybody with MVGs?
No, but I didn't see anyone else sneak in that building other than Riley either.
They're not like a functioning military. They're literally just regular civilians.
They're functioning enough that they have a fucking training facility.
Bro, a raider would not try raiding a QZ.
That's no.
That's a suicide wish. Like, bro,
Yeah, they're not
Maybe.
doing
You
that.
This ain't the video game. They've already went off the path enough from it.
Raiders don't even hit the QZs. Raiders hit little people that are just like out on their own in like buildings and like little tiny towns that aren't protected at all.
So they wouldn't have a lookout for Firefly people either? Or people doing stupid shit like, I don't know, bombing
Probably
food supplies?
but obviously they're not good.
Apartment building.
They're obviously not good that the Fireflies blew up a store.
Yeah. I still think they would have a fucking lookout. I would.
Obviously not good lookouts or people that don't give a fuck.
They might not give a fuck, but still. I didn't buy it.
They don't give a fuck that they don't even care if they're sneaking out.
I didn't buy it. Still a fucking 1. You got anything else with your neon lights?
I just feel like you're grasping at too much realism on a very unrealistic show.
Trying to put myself
Just
in
enjoy what you see. Don't be a grumpy old ass man.
I'm not being a grumpy old ass man. I'm trying to at least be analytical on a show where we're reacting. All right.
Don't need to be analytical.
I hope you guys enjoyed our arguing for 50 minutes and not talking about the episode. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, comment, find us on Discord. Until next time, bye-bye.
Shit's real.
Me, Izaz, and Joe, thank you for watching this episode of Average Joe's Reacts. If you like what you saw, please like, share, comment, subscribe, do all the things. Until next time.